Welcome.
Wine, what up? You should do with STWF TV coming today on a new show, new series, man. And I got my guy Terrence, that fantasy guy, hanging in. What's up, partner?
What's good with you, man?
Oh man, cool. What's up with you? Like, got a little swag up, man. Like shit, man. Look, this the first we finally got the collab started, man. Like shit, it's Gucci.
Yep, and you. I don't know if you know. I'm from the 504 too, right?
When you said that, that's why I was like, you know what I'm saying, about what you call it, about, you know what I'm saying, kicked in. I was like, hold on, I was like, shit, do I hear that? Yeah. So shit, tell me where you at. Like, where you from? Like, shit, you gotta get an introduction, man. The first time you stamped on the STWF TV, network, so what's that?
Nah, I'm from Canada. I'm straight out Canada. I'm living in Houston now, though. I moved out here after Katrina. I moved back, finished that UNO, moved to Atlanta, and now I'm back in Houston again. So,
Wow, like that, man. You know what I'm saying? What they say, if you let it fly out and come back, it's here to stay, huh? So I guess you stamped out there in Houston?
Yeah, put some roots out here. You know how it go.
Oh man, you gotta tell me how to get some food out there, bro. Like, I've been out there. The only thing I hear about is a turkey leg hut. That's been about the last time.
Good luck. It ain't easy finding good food out here now. That's a whole other story.
Right. Look, now I'm asking for a unicorn. Like, find a diamond in the rough. But yeah, man, like shit, look, this should do, Uncle. I'm on your network too. So man, big things popping. I'm from this, from New Orleans, Canada. I used to be out there. I forgot that little spot where it was out there. They had a club I used to be out there, but that thing used to be jumping. But from out New Orleans, Sunwall, back of town, graduated from John McDonough High School, went to Grambling HBCU, and I had a STEM robotics class I threw at UNO. So I definitely shout out to you on UNO on that.
Oh, you was doing it big then. You in big time classes like that.
Oh man, nah. I just love the kids, man. I had through a STEM robotics class. I was in UNO. I had rented out the computer lab. They looking like, what the hell you doing here? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, one thing I always say about UNO, man, like, you step on campus, you gonna know, ain't that much diversity. Now you step in the dorms, you gonna think it's an HBCU. You step in the dorms, you see nothing but black people.
That's how it be, though. For real, man, for real. But we're gonna get back in because let everybody know, hey, this show is about the draft. Rounds 1 through 2. So to me, is like the most pivotal, most important part of your draft, because just like a fight, if you hit someone, boom, that first time and you daze them up, hey, the other punches just come real easy. So we're going to start off this series with drafts, picks, rounds 1 through 2. And, what is the best position? What is your best draft position? What do you think about that? First, second, in a 12-man, 14-man league, what do you think is the best draft position? 1, 2, in the middle, in the end?
At this point, I'm flexible. I like to think of myself as water when it comes to draft. I really don't get caught up in all that. But if I had to choose, most of the time it's gonna be the number one. Give me the number one pick every time.
The bravado said number one. Oh, cut it out. Oh my god.
But if I think for this year, it's the top end of the draft. I'd rather be drafting the top end of the draft for this year. Yeah, give me the first 3 picks this year. When in the later end of the draft, I don't really like it as much. So I think I have more flexibility drafting in the first end of the draft this year.
I think, I really like the middle, to see, I like everybody to show their hand first and see how it's going. I like the end to set the tone, because there's so much pressure on that first pick, because you pressured into getting the first pick of the draft, like, this year's CMC, so, and for the last couple years, the number one pick has rarely finished in like the top 5 at the end, in fantasy points. So it's a lot of, I think it's a lot of, you just got to go, status quo if you pick number one, like, because if you don't pick the number one person, then everyone's going to talk about you. So I like picking at the end, maybe the middle, and then at the end. So like at the last pick, so I can get the last pick, and then I can stack. That's what, hey, I call your boy Double Stack Cheese, man. Wendy's Double Stack Burger.
If you don't pick the first pick, somebody going to talk about you?
Hell yeah.
So I don't give a flying F. And I don't care if you talk about me. Like if I don't think that's the best player for me, guess what? Newsflash, CMC is not my number one. That's not my one-on-one. You
Oh,
know, unless I would think about going CMC if it's a half point PPR or maybe you get points per carry. If it's a full point PPR league, I'm going CeeDee Lamb. Going CeeDee Lamb. Yeah.
you know, last season was just his first real good season. You know that, right?
Guess what?
With CeeDee Lamb.
They still gonna have to throw the ball. Look at that run game. They're gonna have to throw that ball. They gonna throw that ball.
Point there. Because I mean, you know, a lot of Dak Prescott's points last season came when they were down by a lot of points. So, you know, I'm thinking it's gonna be much of the same this season that he's gonna be throwing. He's like, Kazaa. Oh man. All right, so I like that. So, you know, you said the first pick, you know, it's pretty much where you set the tone. So you like to set the tone of the draft, you know, so you really don't go to, you know, what ADP, you know, what standard, the standard draft picks. If they say, hey, we should go pick CMC first, you would go on someone else. What is your strategy on that? Like, why would you not pick the number one person?
Well, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, that might be for consensus, but I do what works for me. And as the years have went on, I have went away from running backs. I've been investing more on wide receivers, so that's my deal, and that's why I said I trust CMC, but it's just gonna have to favor it for me. So got to be half point PPR, got to be point per carry. But if a full point, then I'm just gonna go with my gut, pick the wide receiver, who's less likely to get injured also and hurt my season, hurt my chances to be of greatness, going down the yellow brick road of greatness.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? I like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had to get you on here, man. You know, they say you're always great as a company you keep, man. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get you on the show, man. So we had to do a collab. But that's a good point right there because, you know, in the earlier years of fantasy football, a lot of people used to get like, you know, when they had, you know, I forgot, like LaDainian Tomlinson, you know, back in those times, you know, a lot of people were heavy on those running backs. But like you say, now with the usage, and I don't know if it's the durability, the season, but a lot of those guys be getting hurt. So, you know, it's pretty good. Y'all definitely need to make a note of that. Like, you know, the durability of drafting a running back as your number one and, you know, creating a team behind that. So, all right. That's some good nuggets right there. That's some good nuggets. So, you know, with that wide receiver, you definitely need a quarterback to throw the ball, right? So, what do you think is the best stack? Like, do you use that draft strategy? So, you know, for those that don't know, you know, a draft the draft strategy, you know, the player stack is where you get like maybe the Patrick Mahomes and the Travis Kelce. You know, you just get the same player, you know, on the same team. Two players on the same team. So, what do you think about that strategy?
I think it's a good strategy. You know, I'm not gonna break my neck in redraft to do it. More so, you know, you forced to go into that strategy in best ball leagues. But as far as redraft, if it falls to you, you have the opportunity. It works great. And just like I mentioned, CeeDee Lamb, I want Dak. I want Dak.
Hey man, I can guarantee there won't be a lot of people that's going after Dak this year, man. Like,
and that's cool. That means he'll be falling right to me if I get CeeDee Lamb. That works for me. But I ain't gonna lie. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying, if I was the stack, I get CeeDee Lamb. But I'm greedy. If I had the chance, I'm gonna pick a higher probably a higher ceiling guy with running capability. Just just depends. So.
I ain't gonna lie. Like one time, I think when Tua had first came back, you know, I had him and Jalen Waddle. Oh my gosh, like that was just insane. You know, I used to love that because, and you know, Waddle said, "You don't right past you," and then he'll throw a bomb, and you know, I'll be down by 10 points and now up by 80. So I love that intimidation factor about, you know, player stacking and that strategy in the draft because, you know, that sends like a big rah, you know, to your opponent. You know, it's like they got to playing around. Let's say you got Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. Or back when Lamar Jackson was only throwing to his tight end and he had Mark Andrews, or back when they had Gronkowski, and the list goes on. So that strategy of a player stacking, I think, if, like you said, if it falls to you, and I think it really, like on your draft position, because I'm a stack if it's pretty much, if I got the last position, if I get a really good my pick, in the first round, I'm gonna probably go, if I go with the wide receiver, I'm gonna probably go back and maybe get a tight, get a running back, then a tight end, but I'm gonna go in and get that quarterback. So what do you think is some of the best positions to stack? Do you think it's a quarterback, wide receiver, or should it be a quarterback, tight end?
Definitely, definitely a wide receiver. Well, I mean, it just depends. If you got a killer tight end, cool. Kelsey and Mahomes stack was OP. But I mean, how many people putting up Kelsey numbers? So, and for the most part, it's gonna be wide receiver.
That is true. Like one thing, I like tight ends because, I feel, my tight end position, it has to get me touchdowns. Like, I don't want a tight end that's going to give me buku yards. I can't stand that. I want to be able at that position, I expect at least one touchdown. So I like those tight end quarterback positions because I feel, I want touchdowns. Like, hey, at the end of the day, I know within the red zone, my tight end is going to get the ball. So the chances of of the tight end getting the ball in clutch situations is higher percentage versus, now I got supposedly their player, their wide receiver one, who might be getting double coverage in this game. So he might be totally taken out. So I like that tight end position. But just think about back in the days with LaDainian Tomlinson, when they had Brian Westbrook, when they had those scat back type of receiving running backs and Reggie Bush. And, those running backs were actually getting a lot of passes from out the backfield. Do you think, that's something of the past, or do you think that's a good thing to do? Because I think for a while, when Tom Brady was his decline in New England, he was doing a lot of dump off passes to the running backs.
I feel like that's a thing of the past. I mean, how many running backs are getting, a lot of passes, outside of CMC? Like so I think that's a thing of the past. I mean, I don't mind a Brock Purdy CMC stack, but that probably be the only stack that I could think of. Maybe Golf and Gibbs,
Yeah.
but but to make that interesting, I'm definitely probably would draft Laporta. Definitely draft.
Yeah, I mean, for real though, but because it's those little nuances, those little small things that actually get you past those opponents during crunch time. Because everyone has their strategy. A lot of people just say, you know what, just throw players out there, whatever stick. That's how they set their lineups. But those like yourself and myself that's been in the game for a while, we actually got a strategy to play against you. So we about to take a quick break. We're gonna be back with more of this draft show. Holla at your boy.
Hey guys, it's your girl Tamara Moore, former WNBA guard and current head coach at Masabi Range College. I want to give a big shout out to STWF Media, the big brand, for showing love and always being about those good sports. Make sure you guys show them love. You and your community can join them every week to talk about sports. Shouts out to them and make sure you check them out.
Hey, we back. But man, just going back to, these different stacks. So do you think that's a good strategy? Because I just actually heard about that. As we go to the next segment, I just actually heard about what, they call that player stacks. I asked my little partner, Uncle Coach Lee, he called that double dipping. So have you like that double dipping?
Yeah, like I said, I don't mind player stack, but it's more so of a strategy I push for in best ball. I don't break my neck and try to stack in redraft. If it happened organically and I can make it happen, fine. But I don't break my neck and try to make it happen.
Makes
You
sense.
know,
But
you know who I did for the last 2 years. If I was able to make it happen, I would stack Kelsey with Mahomes. That was probably on the stack I was kept pushing because I would always go after Kelsey.
yeah, that's a good thing, especially if you get. But this year, with the decline, I'm gonna say the decline of Kelsey, but now they got some more weapons out there in KC. Makes that player, that stack a little less intriguing. But
Yeah. You got more weapons. You got them decreasing the uses of Kelsey, trying to save him for the playoffs. Yeah, and that's why Kelsey is going a lot later than usual. He is not the first tight end off the board for the first year in a long time.
Yeah. Who would have thought that? So here, a quick one. We got some best player stack for this upcoming season. So what do you? I'm gonna put them out there pretty quickly. What do you think is about this? Tua and Tariq Hill.
Yeah, I could work with it. Tua
Okay.
doesn't offer the type of upside I like in a quarterback, but if we just talking stack, hey, it works. And if some kind of way, which is I think it's damn near impossible to do, if you can get Tyreek Hill and Waddle and Tua, now you cooking with grease.
You're cheating, man. You burning the kitchen up, goddamn me, right there. So there's no way that people are going to be able to keep up. All right, so what do you think about this? Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson.
I'm off that stack. I'll let y'all draft all that stack. I'm off that stack.
All right. Now this one, I was when he first came in the season in the league, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase.
Oh yeah, you see Joe Burrow. You got it. It just depends if you all in on Joe Burrow at this point. Tired of injured Joe Burrow, but I respect him as a talent. But I'm getting tired of him getting injured. So Chase gonna be Chase, and hopefully Burrow stays healthy this season.
All right, next one we got Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp.
Definitely.
You good with that one?
I'm good with that. I mean, Cooper Kupp is going a little higher than I would like in drafts. As far as I know most redraft seasons haven't started yet, but I've been looking at best ball, the best ball ADP, and Cooper Kupp kind of risen in ADP. I don't really, like Cooper Kupp late second. That don't feel good to
me.
Right.
So, all right, cool. So we know this with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
He all for that. Well, look, Stan next. Look. All right, CJ Stroud, Nico Collins.
CJ Stroud, why not? I think people have jumped the shark on CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud do not offer the running upside, so you are looking for this offense to put up a lot of touchdowns, and they might disappoint you if you look for a lot of touchdowns. But I love the quarterback CJ Stroud as a football player, but I'll probably let my competitors draft CJ Stroud before I draft him.
Okay. All right. So, hey, I got to give a shout out to Chris hanging out with us, man. He's our #1 Bengals fan. He's one of the super fans, got pictures with AJ Green, Burrow, a lot of those players. So shout out to you. Appreciate you tapped in with us. So, all right, I'm still not sold on CJ Stroud either. So we got Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. Now, this one I am sold on. I had this one work out.
Definitely. This is one of the best stacks. Matter of fact, this is a stack I had listed second. But Hurts rushing upside. Don't be getting hurt. And AJ Brown just a beast. This is the stack I want.
Facts. Like, yeah, the Titans definitely dropped the ball with letting AJ go. And shout out to his agent who got him in Philly, man. Like, that's all wins right there. So
I got another stack you might not have on your sheet.
Okay,
I got a stack that's something like that. Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh yeah. Let the church say amen.
Yeah. You got a quarterback with a rushing upside, and you have an ultra talented wide receiver. Even though you haven't seen him do it yet, believe me, he's going high in ADP for a reason. He that guy. Him.
Fact.
He Himothy.
Big facts. I mean, his IQ has to be through the roof. And, and that's a big deal because it's like, okay, hey, how do you go after like a Devontae Adams who's a veteran, or do you go after this guy, who has major upside, or, so yeah. This draft for us with receivers is, the pool is really, really deep. So, yeah, all right, the last one I got, Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Definitely. It's an offense that one of the best passing offenses in the league, and you definitely want to be a part of, have players a part of any offense that will give you a number of shots at the red zone.
Yeah. And and St. Brown going pretty high in the draft.
Yeah. So I've seen him in some drafts go to 101.
Damn. Okay. All right. So next topic we got, well, it's the same, similar. So now we're going to talk about the all-time. So I'm gonna ask you this question. So what do you think is the best quarterback QB duo of all time? Well, let's tell me yours. Tell me yours.
I thought about that briefly, and again, and I was just like, I because this before my fantasy time, before I knew fantasy was a thing, but I would want Steve Young and Jerry Rice. You got a quarterback giving me the rushing upside I like. That's slinging it in a West Coast offense to the greatest wide receiver of all time. That's the stack I want.
Okay. All right, now let's see. All right, now let's see. So I'm gonna tell you that was pretty high, but it's not number one.
No, it probably ain't. It's just the first one that came to my head. But what is
I like that. You know what I'm saying? So being a homer, this is gonna make me very, very proud. So all right, first we got Tom Brady and Julian Edelman.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty good one. They came together for like 6,311 yards and 41 touchdowns. Now,
Tom Brady, I don't remember ever anyone rushing to draft Tom Brady in any of the fantasy drafts. That's one thing I can tell you, though. That's one damn thing I can tell you. I've been around playing fantasy for a while in Tom Brady greatness. Nobody been rushing to draft him.
That is true. Now that is funny. Like out of all, like Tom Brady had made some great receivers, from the tight end position, the running back position, and the receiver position. But that's right. No one really cared to draft him. They would draft Aaron Rodgers over him.
Hey, I don't mind, getting if you participated in a late round quarterback. Hey, that was your quarterback. He a constellation, prize. I'll take Tom Brady.
Yeah, the 2 quarterback league. All right, so the next one we got is I thought this one. Okay, well, that's a different one. So the number 9 is Peyton. So that was number 10. So number 9 is Peyton Manning and Reggie Wayne. Okay. 2 Louisiana boys.
Peyton Manning definitely was fantasy worthy. I don't remember, to be honest, I don't remember Reggie Wayne fantasy wise, but Peyton Manning, I remember this was back in the day before people was using a different strategy. Us casuals used to draft quarterbacks in the first round, and Peyton Manning used to go in the first round.
Facts. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, Peyton Manning was so good. I remember when they were on Madden. I forget what Madden was, but they had the QB IQ. Regular QB's vision was like this. He's seen the whole board, the whole TV, man. It was a cheat picking Peyton Manning, playing with Peyton Manning in the Colts. So that duo amassed for 10,000 yards, 748 and 69 touchdowns. Next we got Kurt Warner and Isaac Bruce. Kurt Warner had a long season, and did a lot of great things. So all right, we're gonna take a quick pivot and answer this question from YouTube. We got I don't know how you got that in Arconian 2. Forgive me, man. Like I am terrible with names. QB draft or RB first, right? Do you understand that?
Draft quarterback or running back first.
Right? Oh shit. I read that totally bad.
We only drafting a quarterback first if it's a super flex. Otherwise, I don't want to see no quarterbacks in the first 2 rounds. Josh Allen maybe in the 3rd round, but no. Running back, if you want to go running back, fine. We don't do quarterbacks around here.
Yeah, bro. That showed me like you must just start. You know what? If it's a paid league, add me in y'all league. You know what I'm saying? That make the check out to me. So all right, we got Kurt Warner, Isaac Bruce. So they're 246 catches, 3,977 yards, and 26 touchdowns. That was thing of the past. Of course, they got
that offense. That offense was putting up numbers. I can only imagine.
Yeah, that was the greatest show on turf. He like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah. You know, I wish I had that running back at that time. I forgot his name. What's the running
Marshall
back?
Faulk.
Yeah, I wish I had Marshall Ford as a running back during them time.
Woo!
But that was before
Yeah,
my
man.
fantasy days.
Fact. All right, so you got another question. Oh no, I would draft for RB and wide receiver. Hey, that's good. So if you check out the earlier part of this show, we talked about, he's definitely big on drafting wide receivers first. So I'm big on running backs with upside. But yeah, definitely draft a running back or a wide receiver. But
And
I'm
one of the
just
reasons I was saying that I wanted the pick first half of the draft because I wanted the opportunity to either go one of the elite running backs or go one of the elite wide receivers. When you go in the end of the draft, you're kind of forced into picking a wide receiver more. And there is some options if you high on maybe a Jonathan Taylor or who else going there back there, Barkley. If you high on one of them,
Saquon.
you can't pick them.
Yeah, it's more of like the older guys with upside at that time. So, all right, quickly going through here, we got Dan Marino at 6, Mark Clayton. They had 82 touchdowns. That is insane. 8,643 yards at 5. Terry Bradshaw, another Louisiana guy, and Lynn Swan. They got 51 touchdowns, 5,462 yards. And number 4, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin. The guy who played different lines on and off the field. He got they accounted for 54 touchdowns and almost 10,000 yards, 9,949 yards. And here it is, number 3, Steve Young and Jerry Rice. 11,000.
Hey!
You know what I'm saying? Like, look
hey! I didn't even look this up. I was just trying to think of a quarterback that offered rushing upside that had a high level wide receiver, available to them, and that's how I came up with that. Didn't look it up.
That sounds good. You don't think you showing a little something? You know what I'm saying? A little flex. So they got 119 touchdowns. That's crazy. And next one at number 2, we got Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. They got 6,000 yards, 710 and 67 touchdowns.
And I'll still take Young over Joe Montana because of the rushing upside.
Rushing, yes, sir. Yeah. I would have the opportunity to see that back in my days. And the number 1 spot is Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison.
Okay. Peyton Manning, of course, on here twice. What the?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Hey,
like, yes.
Oh, believe me. Now, like I said, I have lived through the Peyton Manning era, and I have drafted me a bunch of Peyton Manning. When I was starting off in fantasy, first round, Peyton Manning shares. Like, Peyton Manning was that dude and carrying your team. You just carry your team.
Yes, you could have all scrubs and Peyton Manning. Like, and you win, bro. Like, I don't know if the point scale changed or something back then, but I mean, I remember those times. Like, you'll be winning and Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning get 80 points and the game is won. Like,
I ain't gonna say 80 points, but I have seen 45, 50. I ain't seen it get up there. But you know who not on there, and I think we're gonna get to this question later, but one of the so who the top fantasy quarterbacks? I don't know if you was asking me current of all time, but I we'll get to that later. I'll save it.
Oh no, put it out there.
All right, so around back in the day, the quarterback who I've never seen anything like it was Michael Vick. Used to shut it down. You have Michael Vick on your team, you winning. It's over. It's over. It was crazy.
Mic drop. Yeah.
Back in the day, it was crazy.
Yes. Yeah, man. Yeah. I got nothing. Like, you're absolutely right. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? Now that I think about it, the scoring did change. Because back in the day, we used to play standard. I don't think it was PPR at first, and finally went to half-point PPR eventually. But at first, it was standard. And Michael Vick, rushing, throwing, he one-man show. He gonna give you half of your points. The rest of the team give you the other half.
Let's take a quick break.
Hose water. Whether you've been playing hard or working hard, when your thirst needs to be quenched, there's hose water. Found at any retailer where sports drinks are sold. Or connected to your faucet in the backyard if you don't want to pay $4 for it. Hose water. Get yours today.
Hey, shout out to the producer, man. Like, he be making some crazy.
I was like, I'm sitting there like, I'm just looking.
But that's just how freakishly that Michael Vick came to the game, man. Like, he just changed the entire game of fantasy football. Like, yeah, that was like, if you played a team Michael Vick, you either like figured you was going to lose and you had to hit that fantasy waiver wire, or you actually just gave up and you just took the L. But yeah, you're absolutely right. That was he did change the game of quarterback. Like, I did like that. He was one of the best. And that's funny that he didn't come up in any of my research.
He didn't play that long. You got in his prime. He went to prison in his prime.
Yeah. That happens to a lot of players, man. Like, that's yeah. Moment of silence for him. All right, next. But so all right, so what we got here? So what's the ideal outcome? A lot of people going after these top running backs like Bijan Robinson, CMC, CeeDee Lamb. So after the first 2 rounds, what what are the players or positions you want to have?
Look, it depends on how many players you starting as far as wide receiver. How many wide receivers you starting? Are you starting 2 or you starting 3? What the flex look like? Of course, I want to lay the foundation for wide receiver myself. I want to lay the foundation for wide receiver. This where I'm at in my point of my drafting, and I'll get running backs later. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out as the season goes. At this point, I would just figure it out. I want to lay my foundation for my wide receivers that I know are most likely not going to get injured. And as running backs get injured, I save my fab dollars and I'll get that running back off the waiver wire. That's where I'm going. So I might draft three wide receivers off the bat. From
the same team?
Of course not.
Okay.
Hey, hold up. I'm not against it. Don't twist it. I'm willing to draft Tyreek Hill and Waddle if Waddle failed to me like that. But Waddle is going in the beginning of the second, so ain't no way.
Like, I already got that.
Hill going in the beginning of the first, Waddle going to be in the second. Ain't no way. But hey, I'm not against it. Like, if I would be willing to draft Devontae Smith, or it depends on who Devontae Smith going around. But if I was just trying to stack, I wouldn't be afraid to draft A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Hurts. I wouldn't be afraid of it.
That's a good stack. I mean, because they be putting up points.
Yeah.
All right. So me, I would in the first 2 rounds, my ideal outcome is, I definitely want to have a strong foundation at the running back and a wide receiver position. So I did a mock draft earlier, and I had draft number 1, and of course, I just went to what everyone expected, traditional number 1 draft pick, CMC. So of course, I got him, and then after that, I got Mike Evans. So that's what I expect to do. My number 1, I want 2 strong, 2 studs, at the running back position and the wide receiver position. So if it's Mike Evans or if it's Tyreek, I ain't gonna get Tyreek Hill in a second, but what do you think about Marvin Harrison Jr. going that high?
I like Marvin Harrison Jr., but there's usually another wide receiver that I like more around him. Like, I know I've done a lot of best ball drafts, and Marvin Harrison Jr. was going before Debo, and I was taking Debo every time. Like, I had him ranked over Marvin Harrison Jr. Now with the Ayuk news, his ADP has risen, and he's been going pretty high before Marvin Harrison Jr. Now I don't know how it's gonna play out when officially redraft season hits, but that's how it's looking like in best ball right now.
Nice. That's really good advice. So, who are your picks for round 2?
Round
If you
2.
suggest someone asks you like, hey, in round 2, who should I go after? Who would you tell?
I like Waddle. I like Debo. Like I said, I like Morrissey Harrison. It's just about ranking what I like. A lot of people not liking the second round. I also like, and this might backfire on me
Uh-oh.
because I'm a guy that goes off of player talent. I like Devontae Adams, but I don't like the offense, of course. But and that might backfire on me. But here's what it is.
All right, well, we dropping jewels right now. You know what I'm saying? We got that fantasy guy in here dropping these jewels, man, helping us, win a fantasy football. At least, it starts with the draft. But what people don't understand is like, hey, they be stuck on the draft. But to me, I hit that free agent wire right after the draft.
He said right after the draft.
Right after. You know what I'm saying?
What you doing right after the draft for the free agent? You just drafted.
Hey, man, listen, because all those people that left the draft early that got a kicker in the wrong round or something like that, hey, they best players in that pool. So, that's a little tidbit that I want to tell everybody. After those drafts, if the league rules don't close them out like that, go hit that waiver wire. You might find some jewels because a lot of people don't be doing their homework. And I think especially like in a 10-person league where they don't have that many, coaches, definitely can find someone.
Well, I always be confused, right? Like I'm always confident in my draft. As long as I drafted them, didn't make a mistake in auto draft, I'm always confident in the team I drafted. I don't understand right after the draft over, someone sending me trades. I'll be baffled. I'm like, bro, we just drafted. Bro, you don't like your team? Like, I'll be baffled. Like, calm down. Can we play week 1? You trying to trade already?
Yeah. I used to be like that. At one point in the game, when I first started for a while, I didn't make trades at all. But then, I like that front office activity. I like the hunt and thrill of that. It's like, it's like betting on horses or something like so. But I don't believe that, send you a trade right after the draft unless, you're one of those guys that's willing to sell your house because you won't CMC. So, hey, I'm taking, if I get draft number 1 and anyone who want CMC, y'all can have them for a high price. So,
man, I'm at this point in my life, bro. I don't even like the whole back and forth with the trade. Because soon as I like a person, now you want to charge me an arm and a leg, or when you send me a trade, you gonna send me a trash trade. Just poking at me. I playing. There's some high stake leagues on the FFPC that I playing. And they don't even have trades in those leagues.
Oh, no, see, I don't like that.
You draft your team and you work off the waiver wire.
See, that's,
and those leagues go up to $2,000 leagues, bro. You draft your team, you pick off the waiver wire, and that's gonna be your team. Ain't no trading, all that nonsense.
That's the easy. I seen you one of them. Hey, buddies, I'm your friend. Look, it look like you need this. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I see one of those janky ass trades. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, that's all a part of it, like the thrill. So to me, if it's like you driving a car with 3 wheels, you know what I'm saying? You got to put the trades in, but that's insane. Like I used to play like that with no trades in a waiver wire, but I know that league is intense. Then you couldn't hold your breath and people not see it. All right. So I like that. All right. So people, quick tip. Round 2. What we say? Marvin Harrison Jr. And what was another guy you said you like?
Oh, in round 2, I was saying that I like Debo. I like Waddle. I've seen Jonathan Taylor and Barkley go in round 2. I don't know if that's going to be the case when, like I said, officially redraft season hit. That's best ball where wide receivers are pushed up big in best ball, but when redraft hit, people are running back crazy. So there's a good chance Jonathan Taylor and Barkley might move into the end of the first round. And then, I'm pretty sure Debo, Waddle, even and here's when you got to use your conviction, because I don't know how you feel about on Kyron Williams. But Kyron Williams, if you think Kyron Williams go duplicate what he did last season, he gonna be a value for you because he's going in the second round. So I mean, what you like?
There it is. There it is. All right. So shout out to our YouTuber. He I couldn't pronounce his name. So he asked about QBs, drafting QBs. So leads to our next question. How crucial is it to draft a top QB early? And how crucial is it? And should they be drafted in the first 2 rounds?
Oh no, not the first 2 rounds. Nah, I mean, if you got to draft the QB in the first 2 rounds and it's not a super flex, you're doing it wrong, man. Like let somebody else draft that person. You know, if they want to draft Josh Allen that early, let them draft. And I didn't see people draft a quarterback first round and still get 4. Fantasy is fickle like that. But guess what? They ain't win no championship. So, you know, they got 4. They just didn't, you know. But I mean, it gives me comfort having one of them the top tier QBs. But do I have to have one in a 12-man league? I don't have to have one of the top tier QBs. I don't mind on getting one of the mid-tier QBs. It just depends on how the draft goes. But I like the comfort of having one of the top tiers. Like I always talk about, let's be real, everybody like the roster bait. You know when you draft that good team and you just sit back and look at it, that is sexy. God, that's roster bait. That's roster bait. Oh yeah. Oh, I got that and oh yeah, I'm about to kill these boys this year. And that's how a lot of people feel after the draft, right after the draft. And then week 1, week 2 hit. Now they soaking. Team looking trash.
Yeah, they screenshot everybody like, oh look, tell me how you like my teams. You know what I'm saying? They sending you screenshots.
They got some people that only screenshot like the first 4 rounds because their team was fired in. It was trash after the first 4 rounds.
That part. Oh man. Okay, I'm about to say I just screenshot and clear my notes. I'm like, whoa, that was a flag on the play. But nah, man, that was a good point. And one thing is you know, you definitely don't with first 2 rounds, you definitely don't want to do that. And for some reason, as of recent, wow, what's that, brother? What's that? I appreciate the tap in from New Orleans, baby. But as a Saints fan, you know, I got Carr, you know, and some other guys that, you know, so it's crazy. As of recent, it's like, you know, the quarterback position, a lot of quarterbacks be getting hurt, I guess, because now, you know, a lot of quarterbacks want to run. But I don't think it's that important to actually get a top QB that early because the drop off from Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Anthony Richards, and maybe, you know, some of these other guys isn't that far. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not getting Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, I don't think you should really, or Josh Allen. I'm gonna just say those 3. You must be really drafting a quarterback until the 4th round. So that leads into this next question. Who do you think are some of the top 5? Who you say is going to be the top 5 quarterbacks for fantasy football this season?
All right. My top 5 is Josh Allen, Hurts, Lamar, Kyler Murray, and then is up in it. You know, I got Kyler Murray up here. He a value pick for me. I'm high on Kyler Murray this year. He a value pick, but
you know the dude about this year tall, right? He a midget.
Is more so A-Rich and Mahomes. I think A-Rich go pretty high. If I'm looking at the ADP of best ball right now, it got Josh Allen, Hurts, Mahomes, Lamar, and A-Rich. So just like I said, yeah. Now CJ Stroud is coming up at quarterback 6, and I'm gonna let everybody else draft him.
Yeah, I mean, because you know, last season he came on strong, and you know, I feel like, you know, I always call that like the Reggie Bush factor. When Reggie Bush first came to the league, he killed it, you know, because no one had really much film on. But the next season, oh man, Shaq was on his feet because he couldn't dance.
Well, that's what I was about to say. When they get more film on the quarterbacks, he might have them on sophomore woes. We gonna see.
Facts. And, with him not having a true stud wide receiver, a vet, I think, they might have those
Well, you
head
don't
coach.
like Diggs?
I hate Diggs.
I'm just
Excuse
asking.
me. Excuse me. Wait, what my butt? I'm about to start cussing. Wrong button. Okay. I had my click out moment. I'm sorry, I'm back now. He's okay. All right. So no, I don't like Diggs, but yeah. All right, let me switch back. I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, so I agree to with you too. Like that's my top 5 as well. Got Josh Allen. I'm not big on Josh Allen or anyone who plays outside. Buffalo, they got an outside stadium. So during the winter, they play in the snow. I try to stay away from quarterbacks who have to play in the snow because they tend to run the ball, but Josh Allen can run the ball too. So he's a good pick to, he's a good stud at quarterback. So Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, I'm on the cuffs on him because I still think he's a running back. But last season, he showed some upside. So starting to, like him.
You're running back.
Yeah, he's still a running
back. That's a football opinion. We talking fantasy. I feel some type of way about you saying that.
I see that. He came.
Don't forget we talking fantasy. This is a 2-time MVP. This is a 2-time MVP. Don't get that twisted. I know he gonna need to bring his team to the Super Bowl just to prove people wrong. But damn, you do have a Jordan of the NBA on the NFL right now in Mahomes. That's hard to get past.
Fact, it is like
well, he more so LeBron because it's gonna be hard to catch up with Tom Brady. Right now, he's LeBron of the NFL.
All right, cool. So next one. So lead to this. So what do you think? Who is the top fantasy QB of all time?
Of all time. In my opinion, or who I think is the top.
We want both.
Because
if you're wrong, we want people to go back and be like, well, that fantasy guy is bull malarkey.
Well, this one I kind of cheated with. I did look this up when I saw this question, but mine's, from what I remember, who killed the game, it was Vic. And then I remember seeing Peyton Manning kill it like that. But when I looked it up, it said Aaron Rodgers had the best fantasy football season of all time in 2011. So, but from your list, they probably gonna give it to Peyton Manning.
For number 10, Josh Allen. 2020 season, he averaged 24 points per game. I don't even know who this guy is. George Blanda. I was like, I must know they had fantasy anything back in 1961. So he played for Houston. George Blanda averaged 24.7 points per game. Number 8, Josh Allen again, year 2022, scored 24 points per game. Number 7, Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City, 2020, averaged 24.96 per game. Number 6, Jalen Hurts in year 2022, he averaged 25.2 points per game. Number 5, my guy. Now, I don't know about this one. Peyton Manning I guess this was based off of points per game now. Peyton Manning back in Denver, he averaged 25 points per game back in 2013. I guess because he didn't play the whole season. Well, I guess one season he did tear it up in Denver.
I was about to say, when he first got there, he was standing up. That second season, he looked rough.
Yeah. He looked like that Wish version of himself. Yeah. So okay, what we got? We got B Jangle, Kenna, Louisiana in the building. Man, that's your thumbnail picture. You scared me talking about B Jangle. You about to be reported. But wow, we appreciate you tapping in with us, baby, from Hammond. What's that? So we got Peyton Manning at 5. We got your guy, Michael Vick, coming in at number 4, 2010. He averaged 25.8 points per game. Number 3, Patrick Mahomes in 2018 averaged 26 points per game. We got number 2, Aaron Rodgers In 2011, he averaged 26.4.
Who was number one? Now you got me curious.
Yeah.
If Aaron Rodgers didn't make it, who the hell is number one?
Your guy. Lamar Action Jackson, the running back.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, when I said
back
I
in 2019, he averaged 27.7 points per game. He was tearing it up.
And that's the season I realized I was him in fantasy because I went. Hey, I was on him that year. I was just sitting back, let everybody draft quarterback, and I drafted quarterback maybe like the 11th round. I'll pick Lamar Jackson. He was going late. I won 16 championships that year, bro. 16.
That's incredible. That's
16.
I can't even say what the word is. But we're gonna be back. So everybody sit back and hold tight. We're gonna take a quick break, be back with more of this fantasy draft show.
This is Sheriff Cooter Wilmot of the Boudreaux Parish Sheriff Gas Station Beer, Bait, Barbecue, Barbershop, Laundromat Department. Remember our motto in Boudreaux Parish: we will find you and we will tase you.
Hey, we back with more of these crazy commercials. But hey, this should do Bam, hang out with my guy.
Fantasy guy.
Okay, look, he like, who's that Forrest Gump? Take the things off. He like, shit, I introduced my own self. My bad. But now, man, like anything for, we wrap this up. What do you want to tell, the culmination of this? Like, this is rounds 1 through 2. I feel like this is the most important part of the fantasy draft. What's some tips you want to give?
Well, first off, I would say I disagree with you. I don't think the first few rounds are the best part of the draft. Now, of course, if you get it wrong, if you hit on the wrong players, and it's more so first 2 rounds got nothing but talent. It's more so if for some reason they might get injured, but it's hard to not get production out those 2 rounds. I think you win the draft in the middle of the draft. I think that's where the draft is won, when you're picking the right players in the middle of the draft. So
can't give out too much now. Don't give out too much because they're not gonna tap in for rounds, for the middle round. You know what I'm saying? For the next series. But I like that. You know what I'm saying? But nah, that's real talk.
Now, I did have a question to ask you before we leave.
Oh.
So do you have anybody later in the draft, like after the 10th, maybe after the 8th round, that you like a player or two that you just be like, I gotta draft him. I can't leave a draft without him.
I'm gonna say Luis Perez this year. He played for the Arlington Renegades. He's a quarterback right now for the Chargers. Hopefully, he got signed. Hopefully he makes the team. But just players like that, that I got some type of connection with, either from the sports media coverage with with our brand, or if they're from an HBCU. But at that position, I'll go after like a Tucker, a kicker, because I'm big on, points from the kicker position. So, kicker, or I would go, get a strong defense. But that late in the draft, I probably, just have it on auto draft. But, my draft strategy would just be I'm saying, auto draft, because I already got my players queued up. So I really don't have a particular person.
When you start auto drafting?
After the 6th round. After I got all my positions, because after that, what I'm doing. I'm sending you them. Hey, buddy, I see you need this. You need a shirt. I got a shirt that will fit for you. And I'm sending you them.
And here's the thing. I can't disagree with what you do, because me and you, we both diamond status in Yahoo. So you obviously know what you're doing. So I'm not gonna knock whatever you're doing.
And that's why I had to get you on, and that's the whole thing. That's the difference, that's the the dynamic in this show, because we're both diamond levels in playing. We've been doing it for a time, and it's like we both have different strategies. I know I'm team weirdo, so I got a lot of crazy strategies. So I would do things to throw you off your game. I would, just like you said, I'll talk to you, find out who you want, and sell them right back to you, and watch you drop these players, because I feel the league is won on buys. When you got to drop all these players that you so love and you haven't been paying attention to, and I'm gonna pick them up. that's when I feel the league is won. So, but yeah, to answer your question, at that late in the draft, I would just really get players that I know people want. That's my strategy. So and I'll just get them back to you. I wouldn't even set my lineup up until we get close to draft time. I might have violations because I have what the limit is 5 on receivers. I'm gonna have 6 receivers. So I just do that as a ploy just to play with the other players, and I just shake up the league of the waiver wires. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people. So I'll drop the player you want right before the league, the game, so you can't get them, and hey, let's go. Now we got this roller coaster going. Let's get it.
There's always one person in like the home leagues type of league I get in that like to play games, and they'll put all their players on a bench. Take all their starters up, put all their players on the bench, and I'd be like, I'm playing too many damn leagues to play those little games. And I'm in over 30 leagues. I ain't got time to play them games. I don't have time to play them games.
I can't even count to 30, man. Like, everybody knows you do and I'm public school smart, man. Like, I can't even count to 30. Like, you in 30 leagues?
Yeah, man.
Good.
Look, I'm in 25 dynasty leagues. That's just dynasty. So, that's not counting redraft.
Hey, man, listen. The way I got my attention span is set up, listen, I forgot we were in the draft. We talked about this a few moments ago. There's no way I can keep up with all them damn leagues. So, all right. So, what is your best platform? Because, I like Yahoo. A lot of people playing ESPN. Some play CBS. I really don't care for that too much. Some people play NFL.
Honestly, even though I don't like it, and I don't like it for my personal reason, the best platform probably is Sleeper. I mean, I gotta admit, there's most people are gravitating towards Sleeper, especially young folks. And Sleeper is always changing. They're always trying to improve. I love Yahoo because it's user-friendly and it keeps your rating. That's the only thing Sleeper missing to me. Another thing, the reason I don't put it as my number one is only because since I play in so many leagues, I use a tool that's called like on Fantasy Pros that allows you to switch out anybody that's injured automatically. It switch them out for you automatically. Wow. It's a paid service on Fantasy Pros. They don't have an affiliation with Sleeper that allows them to do it on Sleeper. So I got to go in manually with all my Sleeper leagues and switch it out. And I don't like that.
Right.
So that's why I said that's my personal pet peeve. But if I'm just looking outside, looking in, I would admit that Sleeper is probably the best overall league.
I heard that a while
platform.
Back. Yeah, I heard that a while back, and I one thing I like Yahoo as well because they got, it's user friendly and it's interactive. They got like, hey, if you pick the game to win, you get medals and different things like that, So I'm those guys like, hey, if I get the answer right, you pin a star by my name and put a rose on my nose, goddamn me. Yes, I want all their attention. But all right, man, it's always great things, got to come to an end, and I'm sorry that this got to come to an end, but time to go. So any shout outs you got before we get up out of here?
I don't got no shout out. What's up, people? Hey, like I said, where I'm at. I'm that fantasy guy on that fantasy network.
Okay, there we go. You're like, I had no shout out. You're like, hey, all right. Well, look, I got a lot of shout out.
and guess what, people? Every week you getting this. Every week this tag team duel. Can you handle it? You
know what I'm saying? Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? And with that, hey, holla!
Find this podcast and others on STWFTV, the Podcasting Network, wherever you get podcasts.